Frank Seppi here at the 2023 Amateur Olympia, and obviously the Olympia weekend. I'm here with Tarek El-Guindy. And who do we have here?
Larry
Everybody
Wheels.
knows him.
Frank, I judged Larry Wheels in his first bodybuilding contest in Huntington Beach, California. He won the overall there, and he presented a good physique. But what we're watching right now is an exceptional physique. I give credit to his coach, Ryan Benson from Team Zero Gravity. But Larry
That guy right
Wheels,
there?
yes.
Come here.
Larry Wheels is now a formidable bodybuilder, and we're going to see him on stage, and I think he's going to shock the world. This guy has separation, he knows how to pose, and we talk a lot about the control of the abdomen. His midsection is bottom line perfect. So congratulations, I think he's going to shock the world.
Here, step in. We'll step out. You let people see the new Larry
Get a
Wheels.
front double.
Yes, sir.
The new Larry
front
Wheels.
double here.
Here we go.
All right.
Look at that
Looking
vacuum.
good.
Look at this. This looks incredible. Okay, not too many guys have this. Small waist.
So we got about 9,000.
Light chest.
We got 9,000 people on here live.
Look at this.
And look, the judges are going to look at this
Hamstring, yep.
and they see the separation. He's got separation here, okay? We have perfect balance here, great chest and everything.
People
So-
are gonna ask, obviously, how tall, how much do you weigh?
I'm just over 6'1", and I'm 230 at the moment.
230 at the moment.
Looks incredible.
Now I'm obviously a fan of tall bodybuilders because I was a tall bodybuilder too. So the hardest thing was the legs came in great, much improvement, look phenomenal. So
thank you so
hopefully
much.
we'll see you on a pro stage soon. We'll see what happens tonight, right?
I'm a firm believer. One day, maybe today, we'll see Larry Wheels in the professional ranks. He has what it takes, Frank.
Absolutely. And one for tall bodybuilders.
Most definitely, sir.
All right, and check him out on
Thank you for having me.
Instagram.
Congratulations.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate your time. What's your Instagram, Larry?
Larry Wheels.
Larry Wheels. Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff on there. One of the strongest bodybuilders too. I've
sir.
seen, yeah, man.
And
See
a
his
hell of an
squat and
arm
stuff like
wrestler.
that.
I mean, he's going against some of the best guys in the world.
I saw that one video. Oof.
Yeah, that was a freak action. It's not as
Yeah.
common as you may think. But I want to just give my hats off to my coach, Ryan.
Who's that
Ryan
guy?
He
Benson.
pushed hard for this one.
Come here.
Ryan, come here. Ryan Benson, who's been in the business for a long time.
There he is. Zero gravity.
Yeah, we're excited, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been fun working with Larry. We got a bunch of big things coming up. We're opening a gym together soon, so we're more
OG
than
Jimmy
just
Claremont, yes, sir.
you know. So it's been a fun journey, man. And we turned him into a proper bodybuilder.
Yeah, he looks great,
I think
man.
we're gonna shock people today.
He looks great. We look forward to seeing the gym, seeing the journey, and hopefully seeing you on an IB Pro League stage.
Most definitely.
Let's bring this guy in here, the arm wrestler extraordinaire. Do you know him,
Yes,
Tarek?
right.
This is Adam
course.
Silver, man.
One of
Get
the
in
best
frame here.
video makers in the business.
Thank you.
Check out the shirt. For nothing.
See?
What's up? one of the granddaddies of arm wrestling.
That's right, yeah. From the 90s, baby.
All right, man. Well, he shoots some great content on Larry's Instagram and YouTube, so check it out.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I know you want
Thank
to
you,
rest.
brother.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Good seeing you.
Great
too.
job, guys. Go see you on stage.
Thank you. See you shortly.
Probably head backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Imagine he misses class.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're gonna start blazing you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we got last.
Yeah, you're right.
Guys, you go to the pay-per-view right now. Larry
you
Wheels
doing, Drew?
is going to get on stage. So I want you to go to olympiaproductions.com,
Yes.
get on the pay-per-view so you can watch Larry Wheels live.
Unbelievably, watching history here. Like you
Yes.
said, you saw him when he was younger at the first NPC show. Now
First
he's
NPC show, yeah.
He's here, you know, doing his thing, and hopefully we'll see him on the IFBB Pro League show. Maybe the New York Pro, maybe the Pittsburgh Pro. If he wins, you never know, right?
I think, you know, I always recommend some of these guys. You turn pro, go on the pro stage. Don't take 1 year off, 2 years off. Just go on the pro stage
how
and
you-
see what
see how you stack
happens.
up.
Exactly.
I would go to the President's show. I would go to the Pittsburgh Pro.
I would too.
I'd make my debut there.
That would be a great impact, and I know,
Yes.
I know Jim would appreciate him
Yes.
going there and saying, Jim, how good am I? Where do I need to improve? And Jim would tell him, hey, listen, you need to get improved here, you need to improve
Absolutely.
there, but I love what you're doing.
You get positive feedback from a guy who's been in the industry forever. You know, you get the right information to move on and become a better pro. So we're on to the Olympia, right? And obviously we're here with the Expo. You can get your passes Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. The doors open. Get your pass at the door or at MrOlympia.com. The expo, stuck my head in there before. Looks amazing. Tim Gardner, everyone did a phenomenal job. And you know, Tarek obviously everywhere. Olympia News, Primetime Muscle. He's all over the place. Brazil, everywhere, bringing you Olympia news, breaking news, everything. So check out the YouTube Olympia TV. So we're here at the Olympia. What do you expect to see, like on stage at the Open? Let's start with that.
Frank, obviously, Nick Walker won't be competing.
Shame, yeah.
We pray for him, and we know he's going to come back and he's going to storm the stage. The bottom line is one of the best bodybuilders won't be there. Some guys will take advantage of that. And I might predict here that a lot of the guys that placed, you know, behind Nick Walker, such as Brandon Curry, Andrew Jack, they're now really salivating the opportunity to not just surpass Nick Walker, but really attack the top 2, top 3,
Yes.
and make an impact. And you know, I think a lot of guys, you have guys like Regan Grimes, you have other aesthetically pleasing guys, they're looking at a mass monster that is not in the lineup now. So that benefits the aesthetically pleasing guys. We don't have Rami, we don't have Nick Walker, so all of a sudden guys like Regan Grimes, Andrew Jack, they start looking pretty, and not everybody's overpowering them.
True. You know, every Olympia there's a dark horse or there's a surprise. Last year was Derek Lunsford.
Yes.
coming in there. So you never know. People make their predictions, but it always comes down to the day of the show, who's in shape, because the chance of 2% of being not at your peak could put you from first to 5th place. You know what I mean? You have to hit your peak, so you never know. Obviously, we're looking at Heidi Chopin, and we're looking at Derek Lunsford, the top 2 right there, but you never know who's going to show up, and that's what the Olympia is about. You come here, watch the pay-per-view, witness history.
Nobody was picking Hadi Chupin to win the Olympia last year, and he came in and shocked the world. So we could have surprises. We could have somebody that placed out of the top 5 winning
Absolutely.
the Olympia.
Yes.
I want you to go to www.olympiaproductions.com. Get the pay-per-view right now, because
Yes.
you won't regret. There's going to be a lot of great surprises in this Mr. Olympia.
100%. And obviously the other classes too. Chris Bumstead, most followers on Instagram,
Ramon
YouTube, everything.
Urs.
Ramon Dino Urs. I mean, Ramon's been working hard. If you've been checking out the Olympia Instagram, Urs. You have Rough Diesel. You have a bunch of guys who just look phenomenal.
I judge Rough Diesel at the Legion Sports Festival.
Amazing.
And in my opinion, Frank, it was his best look.
Yes.
A lot of people discounted Rough Diesel after his poor performance. He placed out of the top 5, and he said, hey, it wasn't my best. But I told everybody on Primetime Muscle, do not forget about Rough Diesel. He can storm the stage. He won in Dubai. He won the Legions. And he's going to send a message to all these guys in the top 3. I'm back.
It's not, look, when you step on stage and you're judged by the best in the business, you have Steve Weinberger there, Tyler Mannion, everyone's down there. It's not a fan vote. That's the, you know, the people's champion. That's the fan vote. This, just because you're a big fan doesn't mean your guy's going to win. So we might see some really big surprises, because that whole division is close. I'm telling you, Ramon Dino looked phenomenal last year. Major improvements. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Very interesting. In the men's physique, Frank, we had the champion, Aaron Banks. He competed at Legions, and he got ambushed by Kyron Holden.
Yes.
You never know what's going to happen.
No, and I give him. He had guts for doing a show before the Olympia, because you kind of think you lose the momentum of going into that show. But you know, maybe he didn't hit his peak. You never know. You see what kind of package he brings this, you know, to the Olympia. But I mean, there's some guys who are just phenomenal who won't even crack the top 5. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many great
You
competitors.
look at the lineup and you see somebody as, you know, in the 3rd call out, and they look just perfect.
Yeah.
Just minor details. Now, going back to Aaron Banks, Frank, a lot of people are like, well, maybe he shouldn't have done the show. Well, maybe he should have done the show, because now
True.
he knows what he needs to improve to beat Kyron Holden. My feedback to him is your conditioning was very good, but you were just a bit flat on the chest, and you're fighting against Kyron Holden,
Yes.
who has chest for days. So now he knows.
You also have, don't forget, you got Brandon Hendrickson, you have Andre Ferguson, who's won, 19, 20 pro shows. He's plays second at the Olympia. You have Ryan Terry plays second at the Olympia. You have Ben, who looks phenomenal. You have so many good guys now who can easily take this title.
Let me tell you, Andre Ferguson, when he came on stage at the Legion Sports Festival and I saw his front pose, his abs, I said to myself, this guy could very well beat Chiron and Aaron.
Yeah.
He was just holding a little bit of water in the back. And again, that's one improvement that he can make very easily and surprise everybody and win the Olympia. Andre Ferguson has all the tools
Absolutely.
to win the Olympia. He's won the Arnold. He's placed second. Nobody would be surprised if he came in and got the title.
He's never been able to peak right at the Olympia. And, you know, he came in second at that one time, but I've never seen Andre at his best at the Olympia, and we might see him at his best hopefully this weekend. You know, competition's amazing in men's physique. 212, a lot of great guys. Sean Clarita, you know, phenomenal champion. Angel Calderon.
Angel Calderon is
he's
massive,
good.
he's big.
Yeah.
If Sean Clarita doesn't present the conditioning, he might be overpowered. You never know.
No.
Now, let's talk about a guy that, hey, a lot of people are talking about his physique, Keon Pearson.
Oh,
Hey,
that's Lee Haney's guy.
I said on Primetime Muscle,
Yeah.
Keon Pearson could very well be Derek Lunsford 2.0.
Yes.
One guy that goes to the 212, is successful, and then moves to the open. He has the
He has the
structure.
frame. He has the frame to put
Yes.
muscle on. Yeah, there's a lot of room to put some serious muscle on here, and maybe we will see him at the Open. But you know, you have that. You have the women's division. Bikini's wide open as far as like who's going to take that. You have many Olympia champions in there. Ashley Cole,
Jennifer Dory, Laura Alicia Pados. I mean, Laura
Maureen
Alicia,
is the
Maureen
reigning
is the current
champion.
champion. Laura Alicia Pados is just won the Arnold, and she's like, I gotta get the Olympia this year. It's going to be a battle there.
That's going to be great, and obviously everyone's looking at women's physique. I just
Oh,
saw.
boy.
If you go on Sarah and look
Oh,
at her on
boy.
Instagram right now, she's on the plane. She's dialed in. She looks good.
Sarah Villegas is one of the best competitors we have in the IFBB Pro League, and I'm gonna use a word that I don't use often. She hates losing. Sarah Villegas hates losing. She wasn't full on top. She knows what to do, and she's gonna bring the fight to Natalia. Brooke Walker is there. There's a lot of other great competitors in the women's physique. So this is going to be exciting. Sarah Villegas is coming for a war.
And then you have fitness. Oh my God, you have Missy Truska, you got Whitney Jones, you got Oksana. You have all these people who've won the Olympia title before. And then you have Jacqueline Baker, who placed second last year. And then you have Ariel Kadar, who won the Arnold. So you have all these great fitness competitors, and I can't wait to see that.
I'm also going to mention one name here.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Taylor Leamore from Canada, who won the Legion Sports Festival. I judged her, and it was one of the best routines I have ever seen. Bob Ciccarello said to me, Tarek, this was the best routine I've ever seen. She's going to be on the Olympia stage. Taylor Leamore is somebody that you should be watching.
And then we have possibly the new Iris Kyle in the figure division with the multiple wins. Sid Gillen going for another title. She's just phenomenal figure competitor.
Frank, at the Rising Phoenix, when Andrea Shaw came on stage, everybody said, she's better here than she was at the Olympia. And then she said to me, Tarek, I'm going to be even better at the Olympia. Now, Angela Yo is bringing the fight. Nobody can discard her. And Natalia Kovaleva, who won the New York Pro, you saw her there. She has all the mass to make an impact and tell the girls, hey, maybe we can't beat her on shape, but we can overpower her.
Well, I was talking about Sid Gillen, 6-time champion, saying she might win. Iris Kyle won 10 times, won bodybuilding. She may be the first figure person to win 10 times. She's just phenomenal. She just keeps getting better and better. Going to women's bodybuilding, like you were saying, yeah, I mean, Andrea Shaw is just amazing structure.
And now I've
shoulders,
got to go
waist.
back to
And you're
Sid
going to go back to
Gillen.
figure.
Lola Montez and Jessica Padilla are bringing the heat.
Always do.
I think the dominance of Sydney
Uh-oh.
Gillen was incredible for many years, but I think based on the last Olympia, some of these girls are creeping in, and I'm going to say Jessica Padilla and Lola Montez, they're not here to play second. They're coming after
So
Sydney
you're
Gillen.
saying this is going to be, history's going to repeat itself. You're going to have Nicole Wilkins when Sid Gillen and Candice Lewis and what's her name?
Latoria Watts,
Watts
yes.
all came in and she dropped from first to fifth.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this: the figure category is a brutal category because you don't have a lot of space to play around
No.
in terms of your waist. Once you do your front
Front.
stance and your back stance, we're looking at your waist. And looking at Jessica Padilla and Lola Montez, they have the genetics. They have the genetics, and I see a lot of great competitors in the figure, and that's why I see they're coming close to Sydney. For a long time, Sydney was there, prominent as one of the greatest genetics of all times. If you look at Jessica Padilla and Lola Montez, my gosh, she looks incredible.
So I'm going to go against him. Nobody cares, but I'm going to say I'm going to go with Sid Gillen for number 7.
We don't know what's going to
We'll
happen.
see what happens when they step
We're
on
all
stage.
speculating here, but it's going to be an
Exactly.
incredible show. And listen, nobody was picking Ronnie Coleman in 1998.
New York
and he
City.
won the Olympia.
Yes.
This could happen. A competitor that we never heard can come in and win the Olympia. And that's what makes this the
And that's-
greatest bodybuilding show.
And that's why you come to the Olympia to witness history. I was there for Ronnie Coleman at the time he worked for Metrics, and I watched him at Club Metrics train pre-season, pre-contest, squatting 600-700 pounds. Phenomenal. We'll never see that again. The guy was just incredible. But I saw that, unbelievable. And I remember seeing Dorian Yates when he won his first title, and seeing him at the Night of Champions against Mohammed Benaziza. And who knew then that guy was going to be a 6-time Olympia champion? So like you said, you never know.
And you know, if you look at the history, Dorian Yates said losing to Mohammed Benaziza was one of the best things in my life, because he said, when I saw the pictures between prejudging and finals, I saw that Mohammed Benaziza beat me from the back on back thickness.
Yes.
And I said, I will never lose again from the back. And he turned out to have one of the best backs in the business.
Do you know the best? Obviously, one of the best bodybuilders in the world was Lee Haney. Now, Lee Haney won 8 times, came back, Dorian competed, beat Dorian, brought his legs up, looked his best. I think he was 32 years old when he stopped. Think about all the other champions, how old they were.
Yeah.
And then how many more Lee Haney could have won. It's just incredible. And hopefully we'll see Lee here at the Olympia.
I've had Lee Haney on
Lovely.
Olympia Live, and one time I said, hey, Lee, did you see something coming with Dorian Yates? Did you feel like...
No.
And he said, absolutely
Absolutely
not,
not, no.
Derek. He was just another second
Another
place,
guy.
like
Yeah.
everyone else. If I wanted to compete, I would have competed, won more shows. But I didn't think, he was threatening me at all. I wanted, and I wanted to retire. It could have been him. It could have been Benaziza. I was perfectly fine. Lee Haney doesn't back down from anybody.
No, and you'll see clips on YouTube and Instagram, and he's like, I just train the way I train. He goes, I pre-exhaust everything. I don't squat more than 300 pounds. I don't do this. And that's why at 60-something years old right now, he's just like a young man.
And
He's
the
just great.
waistline, Frank, that front double biceps with the tiny waist.
That picture in the
it's
street.
beautiful.
Remember that picture in the street
Yes.
with the smoke coming up? And honestly, we could talk about the Olympia all day long. Obviously, some of the memories I have here, obviously,
I
Dorian
want you to
Yates.
tell me what was the greatest Olympia moment of your life.
The greatest, probably 1998 New York City. I was part of Metrics, and Ronnie was part of Metrics. And I remember we were at Madison Square Garden, and Ronnie won, and it was just incredible. The worst, though, because I'm friends with Jay, is when Jay came in second, and they asked me to hand the medal and put it around Jay's neck. So when I came out, everyone was like, boo! the medal second place. But I think Ronnie Coleman, because that first one, we saw the coming of just one of the greatest bodybuilders in the world, and just never to
Shocked
be
the
defeated.
world.
It's just amazing the
Shocked
amount
the
of mass
world,
he
yeah.
held. What about you?
Jay Cutler, 2009. It was on the cover of Flex magazine. Half body Dexter Jackson, half body Phil Heath, and they put Jay right here. And I knew Jay Cutler was gonna be mad when that man went on stage in Las Vegas, his hometown, and he did the quad stomp. I could feel the vibration from the third row. That was the greatest bodybuilding moment of my life. Jay Cutler absolutely annihilated the competition in 2009.
And I always joke around with Jay. So if Ronnie never existed, we'd probably have 11 Olympia titles.
Man, if Ronnie didn't exist, we
You'd
would
be-
have a statue of Jay.
And Mount Rushmore.
Because
Who's the top? Who are the 4 best Olympia champions?
I'm gonna go first and foremost. I think Lee Haney is number one.
I
know
agree.
the new generation
I agree.
is gonna come after you. You can come on my IG, TK Gindi, and you can come in. Lee Haney is number one.
You know
he
what?
was more dominant than Ronnie Coleman.
I've said it probably 100 times. Who's your favorite bodybuilder? And I'm like, Lee Haney. Small waist, big shoulders, great leg flare. I agree.
I'm gonna go in second place, the big nasty Ronnie Coleman. He's the second of all times.
You go Ronnie Coleman. Obviously, he redefined mass.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go Ronnie Coleman second.
And then I'm going to tell you guys, I think he's very underestimated. People don't talk about him. But how can you forget Phil Heath?
Oh, of course.
This guy won 7 Olympias. Some of his shots might have been the greatest shots of all times. And I don't think he gets enough love. He doesn't get enough respect. Phil Heath in 3rd place.
I'm gonna go with Phil as well. Phil's great, and obviously 4th, Jay Cutler. I'm
I'm-
going Jay with Phil.
I'm going to tell you this. I believe in 4th place, I'm going to put Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No way.
Yes.
The best.
I'm going to put Arnold Schwarzenegger ahead of Dorian Yates and ahead of Jay Cutler. Why? The significance of his titles and how dominant he was in some of those years, I'm going to put Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, you gotta remember the times. In 1973, he displayed something that we had never seen before, mass and condition. Sergio Oliva had not displayed that, and Larry Scott had not displayed that. So Arnold was revolutionary at his time.
So, like I said, Jay Cutler could have had 11 Olympia championships if Ronnie never existed.
You make
however,
sense. You
however,
make sense.
Jay beat everybody in that era who was phenomenal. These bodybuilders, Nassim Sabati, everybody, phenomenal guys. Like, who can easily win the Olympia today? And I
Listen.
think Jay Cutler he's definitely.
You make a
ahead of
great
him.
point. You make a great point.
Arnold's
Jay's
the GOAT,
gonna-
we know
yes.
that. You know, for what he's accomplished, no one's ever going to accomplish what Arnold did and what he's done for the sport. But
Let
Jay
us know
Cutler's a
in the
better
comments
sport.
right now. Do you think I'm right or you think Frank Seppi is right? I'm going with Arnold for 4th, greatest physique, and Frank is going for Jay
Jay
Cutler.
Cutler.
Write it on the comments right
That's
now.
right.
We have some of the Iranian fans
Oh yes,
right
they
here.
want Hadi Chopin and
I want to send a message to all the Iranian friends. My big Azizam Hadi Shupan. The Mr. Olympia loves the Iranian fans. We
Yes.
love the Iranian fans, and we're very proud to have an Iranian competitor as the Mr. Olympia. On
100%.
behalf of Jake Wood, Dan Solomon, Frank Sappi, we love the Iranian fans. We consider you guys as family, and as always, you are my Azizam.
And Hadi is one of the nicest guys in the industry. Obviously, Hani Rambar too, his
Yes.
trainer, phenomenal guy. Yes,
The
and we
Iranian
appreciate him.
competitors are incredible. I mean,
Oh, the conditioning is insane.
They
It's
go
great.
to, they go to
It's great.
Brazil. They go. You know, I see them in Romania. I see them in India. These guys are incredible. I was in India, and this guy came in the classic physique, and his conditioning was one of the best I've ever seen.
It's that grain that you don't see, that you see. So who do you have in 5th?
5th best bodybuilder of all times. I have Jay Cutler.
You have Jay Cutler.
I have Jay Cutler there. Yes, I have Jay Cutler. I believe Dorian Yates looked incredible, amazing, but I think the waist started coming out a little bit too soon, and he overpowered some of these guys. In his last year, he had the bicep tear. So I have I think Jay Cutler 2009 might be one of the most dominant performances.
I'm going to put Arnold. Obviously, Arnold, like I said, is the GOAT. He's done amazing things for the sport. But for Olympia champions, I put him in 5th.
Fifth. And
I'm
then
gonna
you have
put him-
Dorian in 6th place. Please don't
Is it
tell me
Dorian?
you have anybody
No.
ahead of Dorian Yates with 6 titles.
Of course not. I love Dorian. Dorian used to come to the States and train at Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym at the time, and I got a chance to train with Dorian at 21 years old. I was like 280 pounds, and I trained with Dorian. We used to spend about 2 weeks at Bev's. Amazingly strong competitor, strong mentally, strong physically. No one beat him in those days with the back. He was phenomenal. Of course, Dorian.
And here we go. Who's the best bodybuilder to never win an Olympia title?
I would say Flex Wheeler. Well, we got Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, and Sean Ray. Those are people who are going to most those 3, right?
Yes.
So who do you think? I mean, Levrone, when he won the Night of Champions.
I'm going to lose
I
some
was like,
followers
woof.
here. I'm going to
You
get
so
some
Sean?
hate here. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. In my personal opinion, the greatest bodybuilder never to win a title is Flex Wheeler.
I'm going to say I agree with you because 93 against Dorian, amazing. He looked great. I mean, I'm going to say Flex
Fresh out
Wheeler
of
too.
winning the USAs.
Yes.
He
I
won the
remember.
Ironman, he won the Arnold, and he went straight ahead against Dorian. But his performance
Phenomenal
in
poser.
1998 and 1999 against Ronnie Coleman was also incredible.
He looked
He
great.
just faced an alien, right?
I know. I reposted the video of him losing to Ronnie, and he's like, "Thanks, man." But no, Flex Wheeler. If you were to say, "Hey, you know, if you're a young bodybuilder, if I was young, who do you want to look like? Do you want to look like Flex Wheeler?
Flex
I mean,
Wheeler. Flex Wheeler.
genetic god.
Yeah.
The captain, the delta, everything. So I would say him.
Small waist.
But I was a big fan of Kevin Levrone too. I mean, amazing at the nationals, and you know, so many
Great
great
generation.
performances.
You know, Nasser was one
Nasser
of the
was good
first
too.
mass monsters. Chris Cormier, 1999,
When
looked
Iron
incredible.
Man, when Chris won the Iron
You
Man
know,
and stuff, Chris
you
looked
know,
great too. Yeah.
Chris
Well,
looked incredible.
well, if you went back in the day, if you went to Gold's Gym Venice, you had Rico McClinton, you had Chris, and you had Flex,
Flex,
and then
yeah.
Charles Glass, obviously training them. And they used to hit it hard in that gym, man. It was good. It was
And
good to see.
There's still tension between Flex Wheeler and Chris Cormier. Chris Cormier tells me that when he did cardio, he used to stare at Flex Wheeler saying, "I'm going to beat you." And I do lives with them on Olympia TV, and they go at it.
They go at it?
Yes, yes.
Two phenomenal competitors. Great condition, Chris, like you said, in 1999, but Chris is great. Chris is a good coach, too, and he's been working with Breon, right?
Breon is coming back.
Breon looks great, too.
And a lot of people said, oh, he should do the 212, he shouldn't do the classic. And here's the deal. The classic physique changed. Now he can put more weight. Let's see
Absolutely.
what he can do.
Look, you know, if you have the frame to put the mass on, why not step up? You can't hold it back. I mean, maybe one day we'll see Bumstead more. At 6'2", I don't know.
I think Chris Bumstead will eventually go and do a show in the open, and it's going to be a random show that nobody expects.
Yeah.
Chris Bumstead, and you
different
know
country.
him well, he goes on his own pace. He does what he believes is right for him, and I think it's in his heart to do one open. He was an open bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
He won his pro card at the North Americans as a heavyweight. So his heart is with the posing trunks, and I think he might come back and do a show.
He's almost 6'2", right?
Yes.
He's competing at about 242, is it? 240?
About 240, yes.
So now, when I competed at 268, and I'm 6'2". So he's got plenty of room to be good, and he has that amazing X frame, great quads, great cash for a tall bodybuilder. We could see, do we dare say a Gunter 3.0?
I think he can be more like a Dennis Wolf. You know,
Dennis
a
Wolf,
Dennis
okay.
Wolf.
Another
I
great
think
competitor.
if he fills up a little bit more the frame, he can be a little bit more like a
I
Dennis
thought you were
Wolf.
going to say Dennis Newman.
No, Dennis
Dennis
Wolf.
Wolf,
Yeah,
all
Dennis
right.
Wolf.
Dennis
you know,
Wolf.
they have some differences. Dennis had the high lats. Chris doesn't have that. But Dennis also had a few more things, maybe bigger shoulders than Chris. But I think he would be a competitor like Dennis Wolf.
Yeah, so you got to, you know, we're just giving you a recap of just some Olympia moments in history and just our favorite Olympia competitors. You got to come here in person and check it out. It's one thing to see it on a pay-per-view. If you can't come, watch it on OlympiaProductions.com. But when you can see it live, feel the energy of the room. It's just incredible. And we, you know, the Olympia team, Jake Wood, Dan Solomon, your brother Tamer, Tim Gardner, everybody who's put a lot of effort into the stage and everything, it's second to none. When you walk in and you see that stage, you know that the Olympia is the pinnacle of bodybuilding.
There's no other way. I've seen LeBron James play.
Yep.
I've seen Kobe Bryant. I went to Brazil to watch Corinthians, the most popular team in Brazil.
Yep.
I've watched football games. I've watched playoff. I've watched the World Series. When I witnessed Jay Cutler doing the quad stomp and the stage vibrating and 20,000 people going crazy, it was the most formidable moment of my life. And my biggest regret is that I wasn't there in 1998 to see Ronnie Coleman.
So
I would
now,
have paid 50 grand to be there.
one of the greatest performances was Vince Taylor when he did the robot.
Yes,
You remember seeing
yes,
that?
yeah.
Vince Taylor was on a streak. He won a ton of shows in a row. Went there and everybody was just, you never heard the audience so loud. Well, you will. at this week when Hottie's fans are in here and they're gonna blow up like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, they love him, man.
The
It's
big
just great.
Aussies, the Iranian fans love it. And man, at the expo, when some of these guys, Chris Bumstead, Ramon, Urs Kalachinsky, Breon, Terrence Ruffin, when they all come to the expo and the pre-judging, the place is gonna go
They're
crazy.
blowing the horns, they're clapping, they're yelling, they're screaming, all the fans. That's what you gotta do. These guys work, these men and women, they work so hard to compete. You know, you gotta give them their props. So, blow those horns and yell and scream for your favorite, competitor. You gotta come to Olympia. We're here at the Orlando Orange County Convention Center. The Expo, doors open Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. It's gonna be an amazing event. Are you gonna be there? Now, he's got a lot of fans now.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna be the
I
judge.
judge
What are you
the
gonna
show,
do?
so everybody
Oh, you're
loves
gonna
me
judge?
before the show, and then everybody
Hates you.
dislikes me after the show. Guys,
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting. I'm going to be judging the event. I hope you guys enjoy. Go to Olympia TV because we're going to broadcast live.
Yes.
We're going to broadcast live on Olympia TV the check-in. So
YouTube.
you're going to see on the YouTube channel,
yes.
you're going to see the check-in live. And I really want you, if you can't make it, I want you to go to www.olympiaproductions.com. Get your pay-per-view right now. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You worked very hard. You're a bodybuilding fan, and you deserve it.
Yes, you have Olympia TV, YouTube, phenomenal videos on there. If you want to keep up with the Olympia competitors and events and everything, and they're going to be live, absolutely all the social media accounts, Olympia, Flex, Muscle and Fitness, follow along. We're going to have so many great, media channels so you can, check out your favorite competitor and check out the pinnacle show in the entire industry.
We're so excited. We
We
can't
can't get the words
our
out. I can't get it
excitement
out.
here. Let's do a pose down right here, Most Muscular,
You know
to
what?
finish this live.
I purposely wore a big baggy shirt because everyone's always like, why are you trying to out-angle me? Why are you trying to angle me? So, the vein's not included in the shirt.
Look at the suit bursting that. Olympia Weekend with Frank Seppi.
Yes, check it out. Tarek El Gindi, Frank Seppi for Olympia. Thanks, guys. You want to know how many people are on there? I'll tell you.